Okay.
Okay. This is Gaudai from Himalayas. No, he's actually from Alapura. He's an explorer of life, interested in better living, and much more. Let us see what he's got. Over to Gaudai.
You should ask.
Yes, that's how it is. Actually, we don't carry any particular topic within us. According to the circumstance, according to the situation, we behave. That's the only thing required. We don't have to claim ourselves to be something which we are not. Actually, everyone is pretending to be something. They want a trademark. Actually, we are not for trading. We are here, we can only be living. Living is the only thing which never demands anything other than what it is itself. So people are connected with many things, holding to many assets and suffering what they have. Relationships are at always such strain because they want to maintain the relationship. Relationships are a natural process. We don't have to build a relationship. Relationships are always there. But sensing that relationship is actual living. If you cannot sense the relationships, we are making relationships and you believe in that relationship. And that definitely will fail. That's the reason for most married couples, they suffer. Because this is a condition that we are going to implement continuously in our whole life. Wholeheartedly, I will be truthful to my partner. But can you do that? No, you can never.
We're not monogamous at all, to be honest. We are not monogamous creatures. It's a society. I mean, it's actually the Victorian society that started the concept. And we are imposed, that morality has been imposed upon us. And before 100 years, even our Kerala culture was not monogamous. Like even we had like very different ways of living everywhere, But when it comes to the recent trends, it has been imposed on us. And it's only been about 100 or 150 years that it's so like that. And when we are not experiencing the same kind of, and everybody do it outside of a relationship, everybody, trust me. No, maybe like some of the partners are so much good that they can follow rules properly, so they don't do it. But everybody, once in a while, they feel, like maybe there is something else, like it's no, yeah, and sex and all, I think, is only a way to attract a person. I mean, it only starts, it is there only initially in a relationship, to be honest. And after that, like, you should start living in love, And that's where our current society, I think, is going wrong. Because nobody's understanding what is living in love. And that's why there's a lot of problems happening,
Yeah. Love always breaks in front of possessiveness. Because you have some property.
Possessiveness, that's not love, I think. That's not love. If you're possessive, that's not love.
That is like. Yeah. It's based on like. You possess things and you suffer. Yes, what's your opinion about marriage?
Well, actually, I am married. And like everyone is mentioning here, it doesn't last when you don't love yourself. It can last and people can love each other and not necessarily be in an agreement. That's my take on that.
Living is something that we don't have to forecast. People are forecasting about life. And that's the reason for all the problems. Why they are forecasting is because of the belief. Because of certain trends that our forefathers have left to us. And we are trying to follow the trends of our forefathers. Life is ticking within us. And it's working continuously, never demanding anything else, just staying comfortably, conveniently in that occupying space. The only thing that one should take care is, how well am I with my life? Your heart is beating, never ever asking for a rest. And you always need a rest. That means you are always against your own heart. That heart is giving us love. Nothing else can give us love. Love is made by the heart. It's a creational process itself. So being with yourself means you are loving yourself. That's the expression of sensing oneself with love, not with anything else. Everyone is talking about spirituality. Oh, I have reached a stage where all my responsibilities are over. Now I am going to be spiritual. Actually, it is only a change of activities. Nothing else. Those people who are actually trying to be spiritual are changing their activities only. The daily routine has been changed, but nothing else has changed. The real process of living is always the same. Whether they are spiritual or whether they are committed with this or that or anything, the process always remains the same. Whether you are in the mountain or in the jungle or in the city, the life process is always the same. But what you see around is making big difference for you. And you are hypnotized by what you see around. When you go into the mountains, you feel that, everything is natural. But in the city, you feel everything is made up and everything is trying to stick to what it is and suffering. And who is seeing all these things? That is we judging with our mind. That's a problem. If you are out of that box, then you can feel everything wonderfully. For that, what you have to do? Just sense, always. That's all. Never demands anything else. Does it demand anything else?
Sorry, I am listening to you.
Does life demands anything?
Life? I don't think so. Like, see, you said about the difference in cities and villages and in mountains, right? Basically, cities are very conditioned places. That's why we suffer more in the cities, I think. And we can actually...
I don't agree with you. In city also, if you are relying upon this condition as a mannerism of living, then only you suffer.
I think it is built in a way that you have to rely more when you're in the city. In villages, you can still be sustainable yourself because there are a lot of options. You can grow your own things, and you don't have to go to work every day like you do in cities, I think. This is one way of looking at it, yeah. But in the cities, like, you really have to indulge in the society when you're living there. You can be on your own and stuff, but there is a certain aspect of it, you're never, I don't know how to put it.
It's like you are being pulled into the city. Yeah. You are pulled into the city. That's the reason, since you are not under your own control, you are not stable in your position, then of course you'll be pulled, you will be siphoned by the drag of the city power. That power is not a stable power. That is always going to collapse eventually. So sensing oneself, you will understand, these forces are dragging me. So there are many forces working, but there is one fundamental force of feminine which is dragging you, which is drawing your body, attention, everything, but it will not damage you. It will never ever give you a problem once you understand the divine effect of a feminine attracting you. Only when you can sustain within that attraction, you will have a better clarity. That is something which is missing in the society because of some spiritual gurus. Spiritual teachers are teaching that feminine sex and all those stuff is not good for your living a better life. For a better life, the way it is happening is the only way around. You don't have to fix anything because it is working on its own. So it's not demanding anything. You should be dressed like this, you should be dressed like that with a particular recognition of other people. No. Everyone is recognizing their own life. It's never demanding anything. And why should you have demands?
All these things come when we are living in a society, I think, because society it has its own, description of everything. Okay, for example, like, people are fighting on genders recently. Gender is just a societal construct. The moment you realize that, you're out of it, right? But people have been fighting on genders, like, you're a man, but there are like infinite number of genders actually. And then, like, people are saying that there is only man and woman. That's your sex. That's not a gender. But then, it is because society has to define something, and then there are certain things that are new when you're transcending, when you're evolving. There are certain things which are new, and then society is not already defined it. So you have to come up with new definitions. But people, how they treat new stuff is like, they are like, okay, there is a new thing, so we are not aware of it. So, okay, we are not accepting that. Yeah, this is actually the problem of society, because society is just a man-made thing. You have to understand that first. Society is not there. It is a man-made thing because people have to come together to a certain point, so there should be certain rules and regulations. So you have to, otherwise we are all like,
Society is sculptured because of man's human being stupidity. It is sculptured some traditional way of living. Actually, they are not. Actual living is not connected. When your living is connected, you know the changes, the fundamental changes that is brought up from the life itself. So when you are not in power, when you are not in rapport with that process of living, then of course your mind will try to figure things out because you are not with yourself. So unfortunately, with our forefathers, they were connected with the traditional way of living, not with the real way of living. And they're trying to copy-paste the past into the present. And hence all the problems, isn't it?
I mean, see, the modern world society is like yet another and a different concepts. Our traditional society was like still more better than what we have now, I think.
But when you compare,
when you compare, actually,
when you got something to compare.
Yeah, because see, humans, I think they are all. I mean, in one way, they are social beings because. That's I think that's in the nature, like a wolf, they always go in a pack. Maybe that's how we evolved, because we always go in pack. We are never alone. I mean, we don't go alone anywhere. We are social beings, I think.
Yeah, togetherness.
Yeah, togetherness. That's always there. That's why, I mean, maybe that's why the society was formed initially. Because when you're together, if a certain different kind of species is coming to attack us, we can defend ourselves. I mean, in evolution, it was always there, right?
Yeah, it's a natural.
Yeah, it is a natural tendency for us to be in a pack and protect ourselves. And when it comes to that, when we are together, we need certain rules and regulations on how we should behave. Otherwise, maybe you don't like how I behave or I don't like how you behave. So if there is a certain rule about it, we can both behave in a certain way so that nobody is offended there.
There's a certainty for your behavior.
Yeah.
There's no uncertainty.
No.
When you are sticking together, definitely needs certain certainties.
But you don't always have to stick to that because that is not. It is only the right way to behave.
It also will change.
Yeah, it can always change. It can always evolve.
Yes.
That's what. Like everything is always constantly evolving.
Yeah, rules are also changing.
Rules needs to be changed. For example, look at our Kerala society right now. We are still following the education system Thomas Macaulay has introduced. That education system, Thomas Macaulay, he was a British pioneer in education. So he introduced a system to make more employees.
Which year?
18 something, I don't know.
So we are following
1800s education.
1800s system deployed by Macaulay from Britain.
Yeah.
Their intention was to have
more employees to make people work for Britain.
Yeah, okay.
And that's what is currently happening around the world. We are all speaking English because of that, to be honest.
Speaking English is not a problem.
I mean,
speaking for someone is a problem.
It started like that. Yeah, actually, yeah. So it started like that because they are pushing for a one world culture. Everything has to come to a singularity, and when it comes to that, whoever started it will be at the pioneering point, and it has always been like that.
Yeah, the pinnacle of all those things.
Pinnacle of all those things. And societies, they have a point where they peak and then they collapse. And we are at a period when capitalism is peaking, and hence after this pandemic, everything is changed. Everything is more towards making money, and people are more, I feel like everybody's having ADHD these days. They cannot sit for 5 minutes without doing anything. They can't sit and breathe and just be fine. Everybody's like, oh, we need to do something. Why do you have to do something? You can just chill.
The sad story is even the sadness. They are not ever, they are sad.
Yeah.
That is the piteous state. Yes, what is the opinion in US? Let us see what US people are talking about.
And US and just like everywhere in the world, the humans have become human doings versus human beings.
That's very interesting.
Human doers rather than being. The being is the most wonderful way that one can maintain continuously. For being, you don't have to implement anything. The being itself is showing you this is what you are. The happening is happening according to the universal process. It's quite simple, and simple is really very powerful. And getting along with the simple means you are living wonderfully.